If you've been on TikTok at all during the past year or so, there's a good chance you have heard this amazing guitar playing, paired with this voice coming out of somebody who looks like they are straight from the 70s. The man you're hearing is named Jesse Wells, but who is he? Before I start, I would just like to note that I'm working on very limited information, as he doesn't do interviews or talk about stuff outside of music very much. If any of this information is false, I apologize. All my sources are at the bottom of the description. Jesse was born in the small town of Ozark, Arkansas during either 1994 or 1995, which would make him 29 or 30 today. He moved out of Ozark and into Fayetteville when he was young. We can tell from Jesse's song, Poor, that he wasn't very fortunate growing up. This is a huge part of his character, and makes him relatable to people who grow up under the same circumstances. Jesse started learning guitar when he was young. It's unclear when exactly he started to learn, but we know how, and this is one of the things that I can just let Jesse explain himself.
The guy who taught me how to play guitar, his name is Harlan, and he lived just up the street from me. And he had a, I didn't know it at the time what it was, but it's a 70s hummingbird. You know, in retrospect, I think, boy, that's a nice guitar. And he liked old-timey Western music and stuff like that. And he taught me Kent Town races. And I didn't realize you had to, I didn't know how to play guitar. So I thought that the Beatles were moving their tuning pegs really fast. I thought, boy, they're good at that. But how smart I am. I didn't realize that you got to put your fingers on the fretboard like that. I just hadn't seen anyone do it. So when I saw him and it clicked, and he showed me tunes so I could kind of get the intervals down, well, buddy, he always had root beer and homemade cornbread. Sugar-free root beer. He was always watching his sugar. I don't think he was diabetic. It was just something he kept an eye on. And I liked guitar, but I really liked that cornbread, for sure.
Before he started music as a career, apparently he worked in a factory. We can hear this at the very beginning of Let It Be Me.
I was stoned in a factory, working in industrial slicer. Wondering to myself if life could be anything nicer.
We can trace him releasing his music all the way back to 2012, where he would post music on SoundCloud under the name Jesse Wells. Then also in 2012, he formed or was a part of a band known as Dead Indian. A few years later, he moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and not too long after, Dead Indian broke up. A few months later, him and another member of his previous band formed a new band known as Cosmic American. They released some stuff, but they broke up a little less than a year later. A year or so later, he formed his final band, known as Wells, which consisted of 4 members.
Hey there, I'm Jesse. I'm with the band Wells. This is Marshall. Back here, Woody. Over here, Gunner.
They released a couple songs in their first studio album, known as Red Trees and White Trashes. This was the first time Jesse saw real success. They opened for bands like Greta Van Fleet and even had a few of their own shows. Unfortunately, that success didn't last all that long, and they slowly became more inactive. But unlike the other bands Jesse was a part of, Wells never really broke up. They definitely aren't all that active anymore, but they still do play together from time to time. In November of 2023, he posted his first video on TikTok of him singing an original song. He continued to post regularly on TikTok, releasing covers of songs from people like John Prine, Bob Dylan, and Creedence Clearwater Revival. He kept posting covers till the end of February 2024, where he posted a couple original songs. From then, his content was a mix of original songs and covers. That was until the end of March, where his song, The Olympics, blew up. From then, his page consisted of primarily original songs. He got a lot of good views from that song blowing up, and in April 2024, his song, War Isn't Murder, which is about the genocide taking place in the Gaza Strip, skyrocketed him pretty much into the mainstream. Each of his videos started getting millions of views. His music is mostly about problems in America, like the fentanyl crisis, mass shootings, and poverty. Jesse is still growing at a rapid rate. As I'm recording this, he has his first full album out called Hell's Wells. Overall, Jesse Wells is an amazing and inspiring songwriter, musician, and guitarist. I imagine you won't stop growing here, and it will continue for probably years to come. Thanks for watching. I can guarantee this video will be copyrighted, so please subscribe to support me. I've been watching since he posted only covers, so I'm glad I've been able to watch him grow this far. I've got tickets for a show in Boston this November, so I'm glad to see him there. I don't really do much content like this, but I enjoyed making it. If this video gets any real traction, I'll make more in-depth, real-life videos. And again, thanks for watching.